And so at what stage you decided you wanted to compete and become a professional athlete?
Okay,
How did that happen?
the first time round, gotta rewind. The first time round was after I'd given birth to my daughter, was 1993, 1994. I was trained by a former Miss Olympia.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to say who it is, but a former Miss Olympia who won her title back, it was like 90, in the early 90s anyway. And I was really inspired after having a baby and going through all of the cardio orientated, that cardio, you know, that very sinewy, thin look. I wanted something different. And it was a classic opportunity for me to want to change my body. And I was like, okay, I want to do weight training. And so that was my first time round. We were aiming for a competition, but it was also the first time round where I was, it brought to my attention some of the perhaps maybe not so great things that happen in the industry. And it kind of scared me because I was like, well, I'm a new mum. You know, I don't need to be taking anything to enhance myself in order to, you know, to compete. And it's real talk because it does happen.
I know.
And so, exactly. I didn't get on stage in 95, but that was my first hardcore sort of like introduction into bodybuilding. And then I sort of, as you do in the industry, you go into other things. So I started dancing a little bit more. Started doing a lot of dance. And then I moved, still while I was doing all my fitness, circuit training, all these type of different activities. And it wasn't until, to be fair, I think it was 2012, 11 and 12, where I was watching a new federation that was encompassing beauty, fitness, fashion, okay? And I looked at this federation and I thought to myself, you know what, I think I could feel at home there, because bodybuilding, especially for women in particularly, there's this stigma that's attached to you looking very manly. And I didn't want that. I wanted to enhance and bring forth that real feminine look, that beautiful.
The feminine look of the like a toned muscular body. Yeah. And it's very, very hard to find that balance. And a few women actually in the industry manifest that. And you're one of them, because when I look at you, you have like such a beautiful feminine face, the way you carry yourself, at the same time you have such an amazing toned body. It's like the right proportion, like the right attitude. And this is another sign of confidence, being feminine and strong at the same time, and not being misjudged with like compared to all these women that are overdoing or taking different substances.
I agree.
You know.
And allowing the external noise to your mindset and it, because you can get so caught up. There's a negative side. We know this pros and cons. Side as well as whereby bodybuilding, because you're sculpting a body, it can destabilize you.
Absolutely.
You can develop things like body dysmorphia, and therefore something that is good can quickly nosedive and become literally not so. And so it's important once again to keep keep company with people who you have the same mindset, you're on the same path, and it's very important.
Absolutely. Did you have a lot of support when you decided you wanted to compete and to make it as a professional athlete?
I did. I had support from my family. I made it very clear what I was immersing myself into. It's very important to have that, you know, to tell the people around you, people you love, your friends and family, what it is that you're going to do, because you're now immersing yourself into a completely different way of life, with down to the way you train, the way your commitment to dieting and all these different aspects. It got to a stage in my life where I was working so hard.
That's awesome, Michelle. So what would you suggest girls, most the girls, women nowadays, because there's more and more women who want to compete, and more and more federations out there, and everyone wants to be on the stage, and everyone wants to look good and confident and strong at the same time. So give me 2 or 3 things, like tell me 2 or 3 things you would suggest women out there who want to get into a new way of life.
Okay, this is what I would say. If you want to immerse yourself into any type of fitness program or bodybuilding or anything, you need to research. You need to speak to people. You need to do check out people online. Go and look at some of the top pros and people, and get a real deep understanding of the type of commitment that you'll need to put forth in order to succeed. Okay. One of the second things I would say is be patient. Everybody wants everything like yes
now, fast. Yeah.
You know, people will say, Andreea, you look amazing. Look at your, you know, your glutes and your this and your. What they don't understand is you're consistent. You've been doing this for a long time, and 6 months is not going to cut it. So you have to be patient, and only time will tell whether you're truly committed and if it's a part or one of your passions. I think one of the other things I would say is, and I've been saying it all along, is surround yourself with the right people, because it's very easy to fall into a trap whereby we're building a body, let's just say, for what's desirable rather than building a body for yourself. And now we know that there's this great big booty phenomena and all these things that are happening. But let's be fair, this is we know the fitness industry can be pretty much so sexualized. It already has.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not good.
My thing would be to women is, listen, it's great to do all of that, but I would rather you develop strength. Be strong.
Yeah,
because
that's a problem. If you want to use this as a way of rebuilding your strength or building your strength and your confidence, do it the right way, not to turn it into another side of the business, you know. And so many kind of women, they're doing this nowadays and are trying to make money, and they're being accepted on the market. And here it's like where we come as professionals, and we're trying to bring more awareness and make people understand that what's the reality of like fitness industry, bodybuilding. Yeah, because
it's not easy, and it can be pretty cutthroat. And you know, confidence. If you lack confidence in this industry, I'm going to be straight with you, you're going to be thrown to the wolves. So,
absolutely.
You know, it's very important to understand that, especially at the level we're at, pro level, it doesn't just come like that. You have to work for it. And so therefore, patience, surrounding yourself with the right people, and believing in yourself.
Yeah, true. That's a big thing. You need to believe in yourself when you do all this. So when did you become pro? When did you get your pro card?
I turned pro, I mean, obviously bearing in mind that I'd been training for many years prior to that, but I turned pro at my first show in London, on the London stage at the European Pro-Am. No, actually, correction, it was European Championships. And that was in 2013. And
wow.
I went on stage in front of it was at the O2 Arena, and it was like 1,600 people, and I smashed it.
That's amazing. Of course you did, as you do. You always do it. So how did your clients take it? Did they feel more like intimidated by you, or you know, like did they see you differently after you just got into this industry?
I think, again, a lot of people knew me on the scene from the fitness scene, because fitness is very different from the fitness industry is different from the bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is just a very small section of the big.
Indeed, yeah.
And obviously, specializing in building muscle tissue for people and others, and also helping them with their nutrition and et cetera, and bringing forth a slightly healthier lifestyle for some. That came to the forefront, and a lot of my clients indeed are men. At least 99% of my clients are men, and a lot of those clients are ex-athletes who want to tap back into some strength, develop their bodies again. They're moving into often the next phase in their life. So I guess with me, coming onto the scene, it was almost like I was a breath of fresh air, to be fair.
Definitely.
And it's not just about working with the physical for me. It's also working with the mind. And I think I've spoken about this before, that if you can conquer the mindset, then you can conquer the body. And so, helping people to understand that they can achieve, they can make a change, no matter how big or small it is, you can do it. That's one of my biggest it's something, it's one of my biggest passions. It's just trying to inspire people.
You can definitely see and feel that, because like when I talk to you now, I just get that vibe, I get that feeling. Every other time I meet you, we go out, we talk, like, wow, this woman, I want to train more, I want to become better. Every single time I have a chat with you, and for me, this is great. It's like one of the best, like, empowering thing that you can do to people to change their life, once you're able to change your mindset with your passion, with your own beliefs. Another question I wanted to ask you now is a bit more personal. And do you think that men feel a bit intimidated after you turn a pro, in general, after you turn pro, or after they see you stepping on the stage? Would that affect a woman's personal life? Because when you're more confident, certain people, like men, they become more intimidated or acting differently.
I think in my personal experience, I can only speak for myself. When we spoke earlier about confidence and not misconstruing that as being arrogant, as well as staying humble, it's very important to understand that we as women, despite the fact that we may well have achieved, I'm going to be straight. We cannot out-train and outlift a man who is man. But I'm also very aware that he's going to outlift me, and there's no competitiveness there. I want him to. I want him to maximize his potential. And I build a special rapport with my clients, because everybody's individual and everybody's different. But one thing that will remain the same is that I want everybody to progress, and I want everybody to achieve, and I want everyone to smash their goals. And you're
always there to help people and to make them grow, to make not only to grow their muscle, but also grow their brain muscle, and that's very, very important. And the more you help, the more you grow yourself as well. So
of course. And I would say in my career, especially in my training career, coaching career, I've never had no negativity, no negative vibes thrust upon me, because you just know yourself. You know how to conduct yourself. And I've seen many of my clients, like I've had clients, I keep my clients for many years, and once they've reached a certain level, they've passed me and they're flying now. And still there's that level of respect, because it's like, well, you know what, Mish, I remember, like, you helped me get to this point. And, I'm very accepting of the fact that people outgrow you, and then they can flee and move on. And I'm happy to be a part of that journey for them.
This is another massive sign of confidence, which is the humbleness and the way you empower people, change people's life, and then you actually understand that there's always going to be people like better or worse than us, and this is part of the journey. This is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you all for watching ProBody Talks. We will be bringing you more guests in my upcoming episodes. Great inspirational human beings, so stay tuned. We have a lot of valuable information that I hope will inspire you all. In the meantime, you can support us by subscribing to my Patreon account. Thank you, and goodbye, everyone.